Senator Loring Legarda, Mr. President.
The gentle lady from Antique, Malabon, and the Republic of the Philippines, Senator Legarda.
Thank you, Mr. President. I simply wanted to follow up, Mr. President, my request, which I made yesterday, if Mr. Diaz would remember. I wanted a more accurate list of the properties of Chief Justice Renato Coronado Corona, and excluding the Del Castillo properties, which were not even owned by the son-in-law Del Castillo, but only a namesake of the brother-in-law. I believe that I requested, and the presiding officer asked the witness to present such in today's hearing. When I have the list, then I will propound my questions later.
Your Honor, when the request was made, I manifested that it will be a subject of stipulation by the parties today, and so I did not get a definite ruling whether or not such request will be premature, Your Honor, because the parties will have to discuss among themselves what properties are included from what will not be included, Your Honor.
I think that my request was simple. I simply wanted the list of properties under Renato C. Corona, and if members of the prosecution can do that, perhaps senator judges can do that, and all we wanted from the LRA was a Renato C. Corona listing based on the technology you have, the search engine, which you mentioned and you were explaining to Senator Joker Arroyo. And I thought that you had brought that list. Because if you will recall, this letter containing the list of 45 properties in my interpellation yesterday, you mentioned that you merely put the name Renato Corona, which came up with this list of 45, which is totally inaccurate. And you also admitted that you put the name of the wife of Corona, which is Cristina Corona. You also admitted that you punched in the name of the daughter as well as a son-in-law, and the name of a namesake of the son-in-law is included in this 45. It would be therefore very difficult for me as a senator judge to make a wise and enlightened judgment if I will be basing it on an inaccurate document.
First of all, Your Honor, the transmittal letter that is being used by some parties, Your Honor, includes the term et al., Your Honor, and it is in my humble opinion that the et al. Will cover even the namesake, Your Honor, and so it was included in the list. Some of the namesake, Your Honor, and certified copies, Your Honor.
I'm not asking for a name with et al. My request was for the LRA to present a list of Renato Coronado Corona or Renato C. Corona. If you punch that, and perhaps because that should be included in the SAL and including the properties of the wife, Cristina Corona, that would be in order. I would assume that the witness could have done this this morning and brought the documents here.
I have a list, Your Honor.
Can you kindly present it to us?
It says here, Cristina Corona married to Renato Corona. Is that what Your Honor is asking for?
Perhaps, if it would be, so that we can have a basis or a comparison with the list of the 45.
I have it with me, Your Honor. But I don't know if this will jive with the stipulation of the parties, Your Honor.
It doesn't matter. Whether it is stipulated by either of the two panels, it is of interest to us. In short, sinimulan mo na po ng 45 na napag-alaman po natin base sa ating pag-uusap kahapon na hindi po accurate. Kaya gusto lang po namin i-correct yung impormasyon na nasa amin po para makita namin yung tunay na properties na nasa pangalan ni Chief Justice Corona. Hindi pa po. Sa aking kaalaman, ay ilan po yung inamin yung walang koneksyon sa pamilyang Corona? Yung kapangalan lang ng son-in-law? Ilan po sa 45 ang sinabi nyo kahapon?
I cannot readily recall, Your Honor.
Yeah, you even named number 27. You just look at the list. There were 3 properties, I think, which were the name of Del Castillo, which you said
yes, sir,
was a namesake of the son-in-law, but upon verification did not belong to the son-in-law, but belonged to another person with the same name. You said that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Were these 3 properties? Sabi mo number 27. If my, was it
yes,
number 30?
Yes, ma'am. Number 27 is one, Your Honor.
And number 30?
30.
That's why.
Yes, yes.
So all, what else?
We have
You read that into the record.
number 31, Your Honor.
Number 27, which is
Name
Erlinda
Erlinda S.
Castillo,
Castillo.
and number 30, which is Angelina Castillo and Constantino Castillo, and number 31, which is Constantino del Castillo,
Number 32, Your Honor.
and 32 also,
Yes, Your Honor.
Constantino del Castillo,
Number 33, Your Honor.
and number 33, which is National Housing Authority.
Yes, Your Honor.
I simply wanted a list without those names because those have no relevance and materiality to what we are discussing now, because these were the byproduct of what you said was just a search engine, and it has no connection at all even to the son-in-law, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, that's all I wanted actually.
I'll have one printed, Your Honor, for Your Honor.
Please.
Yes, Your Honor.
How long does it take, just for my, if you punch in the name Renato C. Corona, how long would it take you to generate this information?
It depends on the volume of data in that particular RD, Your Honor.
Say that again. It would depend on the volume of data.
Yes, Your Honor.
In this case, 45 titles, how long did it take you to do it?
About 2 to 3 days, Your Honor, roughly.
2 to 3 days?
Yes, sir.
Why does it take so long?
Because we are not used to doing...
There is no central database.
There is, Your Honor.
And it takes 2 to 3 days even if you punch in the name? It does not go to one server?
What happened, Your Honor, is that I delegated this to our technical guys, and they fund it out to the different registries, Your Honor.
How many register of deeds did you consult for this?
NCR, Your Honor. NCR registers of deeds.
The whole NCR?
Not all, Your Honor. Not all, Your Honor. To be honest.
How did you determine which register of deeds you would assign or task this assignment to?
Well, we did not have a guide, Your Honor. We just tested Makati, Parañaque, Quezon City.
Why did you only search from the NCR? Did you do that on your own? Or
Yes, Your Honor.
were you instructed by somebody to search only for properties
Yes, Your Honor.
in the National Capital Region?
No, Your Honor. We deemed it best to start with these registries because we thought that in all probability there will be a hit somewhere here, Your Honor. So we did.
The Chief Justice comes from the province of Batangas. Why did you not search for property in his name in Batangas?
Some areas in Batangas are not yet computerized, Your Honor.
Huh?
Some RDs in Batangas are not yet computerized, Your Honor.
Yes, but if you were requested by somebody to search for property in the name of the Chief Justice, then did they state that only in NCR and not the entire country?
No, they did not, Your Honor. They just asked for what information we can give them, Your Honor.
So you took the initiative of searching only in Metro Manila,
Yes, Your Honor.
and the prosecution was satisfied with that.
Apparently, Your Honor, because when they requested second time, they...
Did they specify that please search only in Metro Manila?
No, Your Honor.
Why did you decide to search only in Metro Manila and not the entire country?
Well,
The Chief Justice is a national leader.
For accessibility, Your Honor.
Huh?
Basically for accessibility. Your Honor.
For expediency,
Yes, Your Honor.
for speed, for what?
Partly, yes, Your Honor.
Huh?
Partly, yes, Your Honor, because these are accessible to our office in Quezon City, Your Honor.
All right. And the lady may continue.
Thank you. I am therefore awaiting the document that you promised, that I requested for. And just, yes, while I am waiting for that, may I know from Attorney Diaz, after, did you personally give this document to Congressman Tupas, the lead prosecutor?
It was done by driver messenger, Your Honor.
see. I don't know if my memory fails me. Did the lead prosecutor actually say that he did not receive this list from the LRA? I cannot confirm. I recall upon questioning of Senator Jinggoy Estrada or Senator Escudero, my colleagues who are there, the lead prosecutor said that he had nothing to do with the 45 properties some weeks ago. I'm not
Your
certain.
Honor, can I answer that, Mr. President?
What's the pleasure of the gentleman?
There was a question or a clarificatory question from Senator Loren Legarda about the statement or alleged statement which I uttered. Can I say something about it?
Proceed.
Yes.
Yeah, in answer to that query, I did not say that, Your Honor. I did not say that I have nothing, that I did not receive the letter from LRA because it was I sent a messenger to receive this letter to the LRA on I can't remember, on the same day. That's January 10, Your Honor. So I did not say that I have nothing to do with the list, nor did I say that I did not receive this list from LRA, because I did.
You did receive it, yes.
Yes,
I-
yes, sir.
Thank you for that clarification, Congressman Tupas. I was actually just seeking clarification because I do not exactly recall your response to the questioning of both Senators Estrada and Escudero when this item of 45 properties, which is actually not 45, there is some confusion now based on the inaccuracy of the research done by the LRA. So I will temporarily terminate at this point, Mr. President. I will read the list given by the LRA and continue later. Thank you.
Majority Floor Leader.
Senator Marcos would like to be recognized.
The
Senator
gentleman
Pia
from
Cayetano.
Ilocos Norte.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just,
Senator Bongbong Marcos.
thank you, Mr. President. I just some few questions for the witness. Attorney Diaz, if I remember from your testimony yesterday, you said that the search, the method rather, of searching for the titles that you included in this letter to the prosecution, that the method that you used, as you described it yesterday, was used for the first time upon the request of Congressman Tupas for these titles which you eventually gave him. Is that correct?
It's new, Your Honor. It's
It
a
was
new
the first time you used it, was for the
Personally, yes,
for
Your
the
Honor.
Corona search, if we
Yes,
care
Your
to
Honor.
call it that
Yes, Your
way.
Honor.
All right. So what happened was you used the new system, and the new system produced this list. You then put in, you then sent this list to the prosecution team. That's a fair
Yes, Your Honor.
narrative. Okay. So subsequent to that, if I'm not also mistaken, you said yesterday that after you conducted the Corona search on your new system, you then did not use it anymore.
Yes, Your Honor.
That was, in other words, was the only time you used it. Why did you discontinue using this method of searching, of computer searching, after you had generated this list?
Because, Your Honor, we realized that we have to come up with some rules and regulations also for a name search. Because if not, Your Honor, such information is very vital, and we do not want any person, for that matter, to be a subject of an inquiry that is not warranted. Your
So
Honor.
why did you suspect that that might be a possibility, or that might be a weakness in the search system that you were using?
Because, Your Honor, we are also confronted by syndicates in the land titles. And they could possibly use that system so that they can generate some information that can be used against all of us, Your Honor.
And this kind of information would be misleading. Because it is too general, it is non-specific. Is that the reason that you stopped using this new system?
No, it will not be fair, Your Honor, to some people, because by then it will send out some information that should not be given out, Your Honor.
So in your judgment, the system that you had been using was faulty, was flawed, was weak somehow, and that's why you stopped using it.
No, there were no rules, Your Honor. The use of the computer, Your Honor.
So were there any rules when the prosecution team asked for, were there any rules being applied when the prosecution team asked you for this list which you subsequently supplied them with?
There was
There were no rules because that's why you stopped using it, right?
Yes, Your Honor. That is
So did you not feel that those rules should have been applied in the search for Justice Coronas and his family's title search? Or is it okay that there are no rules for the Corona search, but we must apply new rules for any other search? Why that distinction?
Your Honor, it was requested
So, but again,
by the prosecution team.
but again,
and
you
it was-
yourself said that there were misgivings, that no proper rules were in place, so that that you should follow when conducting a title search. That is what was your conclusion. That's why you stopped using that system
Thereafter, Your Honor.
thereafter.
Yes, sir.
But for you, it was perfectly acceptable that there were no rules when you did the Corona search. That's okay. It's okay to have no rules applied in the use of this computer search when it came to the Corona search. Whereas you were thinking for other searches, those rules must be instituted, must be created, and must be applied. So why the difference?
Because, Your Honor, this is an impeachment proceeding, Your Honor.
And therefore,
And therefore, Your Honor, I must participate the best way I can. If the defense team would have asked,
okay,
then I
so-
would have provided them to Your Honor.
okay, so if there is another impeachment trial down the road, in the future, and we ask you for a title search, you will revert back to this system of no rules when you conduct that title search?
I will provide you with copies, Your Honor, because then
No. Will you apply? Will you then go back to the same system that you used in the Corona search without applying the rules that you said are missing
The rules
in the
that I
conduct
mentioned-
of those searches?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. The rules that I mentioned, Your Honor, will only provide the requester some degree of responsibility for them to be given certified copies, Your Honor, if the name search will be used.
And so you feel that those rules are not necessary in the case of an impeachment trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ah, it's okay. Fine. Well, that sounds to me like a double standard. But never mind. Let me proceed. So after you felt that the system that you were using lacked guidance, lacked rules, lacked regulations, you stopped using the system.
We temporarily stopped using it
Have
because...
you since then started to use it again?
No, Your Honor.
No. Thus far, this is the only time that search that you by your own testimony say did not have proper rules applied to the conduct of that search. It was the only time that this system was used.
There was no need
No,
for rules
no.
at that time, Your Honor, because that was the first time that...
So there are no need for rules when the prosecution asks you in the Corona search, but there's rules for people who are asking you when there are syndicates or for other requests. Why this one has no rules and the others need rules?
Because, Your Honor, this is an impeachment court. This is
Okay,
a
so
consti-
if this is an impeachment court, there's no need for rules.
I will have to assist the court, Your Honor, out of respect.
Okay,
Your
never
Honor.
mind. We can see what you're trying to get at. Okay, when you found that the system might be faulty or flawed or weak in some way, did you communicate that conclusion to the prosecution team so as to guide them, to say, we did not apply these things which we would have preferred to have applied, these rules which we would have preferred to apply? Did you say maybe we should have another look at it, or you should look at the list that I gave you carefully because we did not apply certain rules which we think you should apply? Did you warn the prosecution team that there may be weaknesses in the system that you used to generate this list?
There was no weakness in the system, Your Honor. And there
There's
was
no weakness in the system, so why are you not using it?
We used it, Your Honor. But
Yes,
we-
once. Why are you not using it now?
Because
If it is perfect, if it is
Well-
working so well.
the rules, Your Honor, does not apply to the system that we're using, but on the request that will be granted, Your Honor. So if anybody would, nobody for no apparent reason will come to us and would like to search properties of a certain high-profile person, Your Honor, I think it's my duty also to be fair to that
So
person.
these rules do not exist. So right now there are no proper rules for an inquiry to the LRA. So you still have to draw them up that they do not exist thus far?
Well, so far, Your Honor, if it is made, if a person who's making a request is vested with an authority of an office, and he's making a request in his official capacity, then we will provide him or her some documents, Your Honor.
But you will not use the computer search that you used before.
We will, Your Honor.
Oh, you will. But why? So why, again, well, never mind. This is becoming a circular argument. But so you did not tell the prosecution that we have since stopped using this system for these reasons, and perhaps these reasons may have an effect on the, I don't know, accuracy, veracity of the list that I've shown, that I have sent you. You did not make that communication.
There was no need, Your Honor.
There was no need.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Well, so you say that the product generated by a search that was the system that you used to make that search that was subsequently no longer used because there were some weaknesses in the system, had no need. You did not feel any need to inform the prosecution. Kaya napapasubo ang prosecution dito dahil ang binigay ninyong listahan ay hindi maliwanag at mukhang hindi naman tama. And for that, should you not have warned them so that they're not put in this position now where they have to explain why 45 titles were announced when in fact so many should not have been included in the list? Since you already had, as you say, misgivings about the system, should you not have warned the prosecution? I have misgivings about the systems. Be warned. Mag-ingat kayo. Tignan natin mabuti. Let's go over it again. Something like that. Wala kayong pinag-usapan ganon?
Wala po.
Wala. So you did not, so this was the only time it was used. It is no longer being used because you feel there are weaknesses in the system.
No.
You did not warn the prosecution that you had perceived some possible weaknesses in the system. Attorney Diaz, ayaw na ako magdagdag ng sabon na inabot mo mula nung kagabi hanggang ngayon. But this is highly irregular at the very least. And at worst, it is violative of the civil code, as Senator Miriam Santiago has demonstrated. So you will understand why we are quite perplexed that the manner, and shall we say the cavalier attitude you had to just printing out all kinds of titles, which in fact were not double-checked, were not used, you already had misgivings as to the product of your search. I cannot understand why. If I were suspicious, I would say, meron bang nagsabi sa'yo? Hindi bali, lagay mo na lang lahat dyan. Padamihin na lang natin. Mas maganda, mas marami.
I beg the forbearance of the gentleman. I will allow you to finish your questioning in 1 minute.
An interjection, a 30-second interjection related to Senator Marcos's statement, Mr. President, with your permission.
I yield to the lady.
Thank you. This is very relevant to yours. I'm just really confused because I was listening intently to Senator Santiago, and the witness said that he did not know it was an impeachment proceeding, and he simply gave the list. However, listening to Senator Marcos, the witness says when it is an impeachment, he cooperated, and if it's defense who asks for documents, he would also give the same documents. And you've been discussing that for the past couple of minutes, and he said because it is an impeachment. This representation, Mr. President, is therefore perplexed as to the statement of the LRA attorney, the administrator, saying 10 minutes ago to Senator Santiago that he did not know it is an impeachment, and telling another senator judge that it was an impeachment and there are no rules on an impeachment proceeding. I am just confused.
Perhaps we can direct the question to the witness. Which is it, Attorney Diaz? Was it because it was, what, did you know it was an impeachment trial, or did you not know?
Of course, Your Honor.
Oh, you
the
did-
subject of the judicial notice, Your
So
Honor.
you
Everything was
misspoke when you answered Senator Santiago.
Categorical. I just want to hear an answer categorically. Sinabi po nyo kay Senator Santiago na hindi po nyo alam na impeachment ang dahilan at gagamitin yung mga dokumentong hinihingi po sa inyo.
No,
Pero narinig ko po ngayon kay Senator Marcos, sabi po nyo, dahil impeachment, kailangan po magbigay kayo at tumulong sa taong bayan. Tama po yung sagot nyo. Pero ano po sa dalawa, dahil lihis po yun at kaiba.
I knew, Your Honor, that they are the prosecution of for the prosecution, Your Honor, representing the House for the impeachment court, Your Honor. But how they will use this
I'm
information...
not asking how, and Senator Santiago did not ask you how. And I heard very clearly, you said, I did not know what use it would be for.
Yes, Your Honor.
I did not know it was for an impeachment. Even look at the transcript of records. So I am confused because I thought that you even said, akala ko pang research.
Yes, Your Honor.
It would research, so I thought it was legislative research you were referring to. In short, I would grant you your innocence and give you the benefit of the doubt. Maybe you just need to enhance your communication skills. But what I understood from Senator Santiago's question and your answer was that you seemed not to know it was meant for an impeachment proceeding. But very clearly, your answer to Senator Marcos was that it was for impeachment. And so I just wanted clarification whether you actually knew it was going to be used for this or not.
Sandali lang, para maklaro natin ito. Nag-umpisa ito sa tawag ng Chief Prosecutor, hindi ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Si Congressman Tupas.
Yes,
Tumawag sa iyo sa telepono, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
At sinabi niya, pwede bang tingnan ninyo ang mga lupain o mga real estate property na ni kagalang-galang na batas na hukom ng Pilipinas, Renato Corona at ang kanyang may bahay, di ba? At ng mga iba pang kamag-anak niya. Yung ba sinabi sa iyo?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ngayon, noong tinawagan ka ni Congressman Tupas, ay nakasalang na dito sa Senado yung articles of impeachment, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Alam mo yun.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, alam mo rin na siya ay head ng prosecution panel sa impeachment articles. So, yung articles of impeachment na isinampa ng House of Representatives sa Senado
Yes, Your Honor.
kontra kay Chief Justice. So, alam mo na yung tawag niya ay humihingi ng ebidensya para tungkol sa mga ari-arian ng nakasakdal na mahistrado ng Pilipinas. Di ba?
Yes, Your Honor. Information relative to the properties, Your Honor.
Yun.
Yes,
So
sir.
alam mo yun.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ito ba ay verbal lang?
Yes, Your Honor.
Hindi sumulat sa'yo?
At that time, hindi po.
At the time of the call?
Yes, Your Honor.
Kailan yung call na yun?
Prior to January 10, Your Honor.
Ha?
Prior to January 10, Your Honor. Because January 10, we transmitted the documents, Your Honor.
Sabi mo, prior to
January 10, Your Honor.
January 10.
Yes, sir.
Between the time they filed the articles of impeachment and January 10 ang tawag.
It was January, Your Honor.
Huh?
It was around January 7 or 8, Your Honor.
Oh, January 7 or 8.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, ngayon, sa makatwid, alam mo na ang hiling ni Congressman Tupas ay upang kumuha ng ebidensya tungkol sa lupain o real estate na ari-arian ni kagalang-galang na at kataas-taasan ng hukom na Pilipinas, Renato C. Corona.
Et al, Your Honor, sa kanyang mga.
Ha?
At yung mga iba
At
pang...
yung mga iba pa,
Yes, Your Honor.
na malapit sa kanya o kamag-anak niya.
Yes, Your Honor.
Alright. Ngayon, ang tanong ko, yun ang maliwanag yun, maliwanag. Ngayon, alam mo ba na si Chief Justice ay taga Batangas?
Yes, Your Honor.
Alam mo yun, bilang
Yes, sir.
abogado, alam mo na ang nakasakdal sa amin dito sa Senado ay taga Batangas.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hindi ba ang logical starting point ng inyong pagsusuri kung meron siyang mga lupain o real estate property ay doon sa kanyang probinsya, sa bayan niya?
It didn't appear that way.
Taga-Tangawan siya. Alam mo ba yon?
Hindi po.
Hindi mo alam. Pero alam mo ang probinsya niya.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ngayon,